Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wolf's RPG Corner, the Sons of Glitches. I got another Witcher 3 video for you here. So, this one I'm going to talk a little bit about build and combat. Thought it'd be helpful. And so, I'm going to talk a little bit about the kind of build that I enjoy the most in the game, the armor that goes best with it, some of the skills that you're probably going to want to pick if you want to play the game like this, and then take you through a fight and show you how to use them. So, from a playstyle and build perspective, I tend to prefer a hybrid build. I like to use a little bit of magic or signs. I like to use a lot of melee attack balanced out with pretty heavy use of potions and oils in the game. So um, that requires using a lot of stuff from the alchemy tree. I remember first playing the game and not really getting alchemy exactly. And after spending a little bit more time with it, I started to really appreciate how powerful some of this stuff really was. So, for example, something like synergy increases the bonuses for mutagens you place in slots. Well, that's the difference between getting a 60 attack power bonus from this red mutagen and substantially less than that. Something like Hunter Instinct. When your adrenaline points are at their maximum, you deal 100% increased critical damage against your targeted enemy type if you're using the right oil. That's a huge damage increase. And Killing Spree is just amazing for fights with a lot of opponents. Um, every opponent killed increases your critical hit chance by 50%. Basically, you wind up doing nothing but crit damage throughout the entire fight. So, how you structure this build depends a little bit on the way you like to fight. I tend to favor fast attacks. It's just kind of more my style, with a little bit of strong attack here and there. So I would recommend, depending on your preference, put either um, 10 points into fast attack and then a few into strong attack. I haven't gotten through the expansions with this particular playthrough yet, but I, this is just kind of where I landed at the end of it. Um, but either do this or vice versa, right? If you prefer strong attacks, go for it. I tend to favor the fast attacks, but either one works fine. Whoops. For signs, I've really only got these in here because for the Axie boost you get at the base level opens up some new dialogue options, and it's an easy way to get some experience early on. So I would definitely take it and take it early. Exploding shield for Quen is a nice to have. Do you really need it? No. But it can give you a little bit of additional distance in close fights. So take it, don't take it. It's really up to you. So alchemy is where you're going to wind up dumping most of your points. Poison blades is a terrific talent. I would take it right off the bat, because it puts a damage over time effect on your opponent, dots them up, and can really save your neck in a close fight. Protective coating, also great. The idea is you're not going to be getting hit all that much, but when you do, if you're using the right kind of oil to combat the monster you're fighting, um, this can really save your ass. And it gives you a pretty substantial damage reduction, which can be very, very useful, especially if you're playing on Death March, which I am for this playthrough. Um, one or two good shots from a monster of your level or a little bit higher can kill you. So um, pretty good talent to have. Acquired tolerance, you kind of take this because you have to, but it is nice because it basically means you'll never cap out your toxicity, and you can use as many potions as you need to or even a potion or two and a decoction if you want to. I don't use decoctions very much, just personal preference, but you certainly can using this build if you want to. Frenzy, you kind of take it because you have to. I don't really use it all that much. It's nice, but you don't really need it, especially if you're running a Blizzard potion. Refreshment, again, you take this because you have to, so you can work your way down the tree. Use it until you get something better. Same thing for fixative to a certain extent. Some people love this. I kind of don't. I don't mind reapplying the blade oils. I'd rather use that slot for something else. Hunter Instinct, which I already talked about, you know, absolute must-have. Killing Spree, same thing, absolute must-have. It's what makes this build work, really. And Synergy, this is just a no-brainer. It's an amazing talent. I don't recommend personally taking anything in pyrotechnics, really, in the bomb tree. You don't need them. The bombs are good enough on their own. I use bombs. I like using them during fights. They come in really handy. But they're really powerful. And you don't, I mean, me personally, I don't think you need to sweat this. God, I gotta stop doing that. The only point I would put into the general branch, and this really depends on your style of play, and I strongly recommend the Cat School gear for this kind of build. Really works well with it. I would not recommend going with the Griffin School for this. The Griffin School Witcher gear, it just doesn't jive well. Bear School's okay. Bear School would work just fine with this. I like the Bear School armor. It's really, really good. Probably would not work as well as Cat. I've actually not tried it, but I would take Cat over Bear using this build. However, Bear would work okay. But the only point that you want to throw into this tree is something that'll give you an extra little boost depending on what kind of armor you're wearing, either Cat or Bear. And then for mutagens, it's kind of oh my god. For mutagens, it's a no-brainer. Just pick the color that corresponds with the abilities you got on that side and slot one in there. All right, so let's go. Let's have a look at gear here for a second. So I am running the Mastercrafted Feline armor. It's my favorite armor set in the game. Well, one of my two favorites. I like the Mastercrafted Bear School too. I think this one just looks dope. I don't know. I like the collar on it. What can I say? So Mastercrafted Feline Steel Sword, Mastercrafted Feline Silver Sword, Feline Crossbow, and then the Mastercrafted gear over here. Okay, crossbow doesn't really matter. You know, kind of do whatever you want there. I zero fucks given, but and then for potions, my go-to loadout for potions is Superior Thunderbolt, Superior Blizzard, Superior Swallow, and I never got around to doing Superior White Raffart's Decoction, but I do not find myself using the other potions all that often. Honestly, it's really more. It's really those four, and then like every once in a blue moon, I would find myself using Black Blood if I'm fighting a vampire, or something like Drowner's Pheromones if I'm freaking swimming. Keep drowners away, but it's really those four. That's really all you need, in my opinion. And then for oils, just get all the superior oils you can. Really, they're all good. They're all useful. You're gonna use them all. Necrophage oil, Hangman's Venom are probably the two you use the most. but they're all going to be useful over the course of the game, and they make you a lot more powerful. I mean, just let 50% attack power boost versus a targeted type once you get up to superior is a huge advantage. Combine that with the boost you get from something like poison blades, and all of a sudden you're really going to deal a ton of damage against a targeted enemy type there. So I'm going to do a Witcher contract here and show you guys what this build looks like in action. Alright, so we've negotiated, we've done our stuff, and now we're off to the races. I do believe there's a couple of small fights in... Oh, look, there's a bear. Let's kill it. Alright, so just for the... I might even one-shot this thing at this point, but just for the sake of completeness... Where's my beast oil? Throw this on here. Alright, this is a much lower level creature, but you can see I just tore right through that thing. I mean, no, not even a challenge. Oh, hello, Mr. Wolf. Yeah, see, these things aren't even denting me at this point, and I'm one-shotting them now. Neil, that was for you, by the way, Mr. I got killed by a bunch of wolves. I think we got some more wolves over here. Yeah, see, now it's starting to hurt me just a little bit, but still not very much. And that's that protective coating right there. Alright, so now that I know it's a griffin, I knew that already, but for the sake of example, so you can go in, have a look at what are these guys vulnerable against, right? So the grape shot bomb, the hybrid oil, and ard. So that'll inform my choices, obviously. Of course, I don't have superior hybrid oil, but whatever. I think I already have grape shot equipped. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and save just in case I fuck this up. Alright, and you can see right away the amount of damage I'm doing to this thing, right? And he's not... I haven't even thrown on a Thunderbolt potion or anything. I'm about to now. Oh. And I almost fucked that up because I wasn't paying attention, because I was paying too much attention to trying to show off the damage. But so I'm level 35. That monster was level, yeah, that was a level 35. I chopped through him like he was absolutely nothing. So I mean, I think that pretty effectively demonstrates the power of this build, just how much damage it can do. So hope this helped give some helpful tips on how you might want to start constructing your Geralt if you decide to pick up Witcher 3. Any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. Thanks, everybody.